The Deep Talk with Mr. Henry.
Thank you so much for watching this show. If you started with me from the very first episode and you're still with me, from the bottom of my heart, most of you guys really enjoy these conversations. They've been life-changing to you. I've been getting a lot of recommendations. So thank you so much for those of you that catch it for Kuvaku Galaxy TV. Those that watch it on my YouTube, those that watch it on the Galaxy FM YouTube, and the people that are really investing to show that the show moves. We really thank you so much. Now today the person I have is the very first person from the religious side as Zico Deep Talk, and it's such an honor. The gentleman I'm having is called Prophet Michael Kiganda. It's such an honor to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Prophet Michael Kiganda, the first religious person to be on the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's not small for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because and thank you for honoring the invite.
Thank you so much again.
So, for the people out there, first of all, for the very first time, how would you tell them about yourself?
Okay. Again, our dear viewers, my name is Prophet Michael Kiganda. I am a prophet of God, and I am here that you can know God, this God that prospers, and this God that can fix all your problems. I have seen him work, I've seen him sort people, and that's why I'm here on the Deep Talk.
Everyone has a story. My grandfather was a man of God.
Okay.
He was a reverend, Reverend Canon Zabron Katombos.
Okay.
So some people from Western Uganda know him. But every time he used to tell his story of the calling, his turning point, it was interesting. So what was your turning point? When do you realize that Katikatonda Pise?
Okay. Kakati ebyange Henry, biwanvu I would say. But I'll paraphrase. Ng'omwana omuto yenna, I grow up. I have 13 siblings, and I'm 13, and I'm the second born. But when I was growing up, I had a very strange childhood. Ng'omwana omulala yenna nkula nsoma, but along there natandika okulwala, nentandika ebirwadde ebitategerekeka. Kakati olunaku lumu maama wange nga bamuwadde amagezi, because we tried all the physicians around. Myaka nga 8. Kakati mama wange n'atambula mu basawo ba physician ne bigaana. Kakati ne bagula eddagala lyonna nerigana. So one time mama wange ne bamuwa amagezi, amugamba nti omwana ono obulwadde obumuluma bulabika bususse eddagala. How about if you try obusamize, because eddagala liganye. Eddagala liganye, and really my parents tried. Naye ng'omanye ekinnuma mutwe. Kakati abatulaba bamanyi kye bayita omutwe ogutali gwa bulijjo. I'm not talking about simple headaches. Nga sisobola kusoma bitabo, sisobola kwebaka, buli kaseera amaziga gava maaso. Deep pain, this excruciating
a migraine headache that doesn't go away.
That doesn't stop. Kakati mama wange ne bamugamba nti omwana ono ogenda mufiirwa, eddagala liganye. So kati gezaako abasawo ab'ekinnansi. Kakati munange one day mama wange n'angamba enkya tugenda. I didn't know where she was taking me. Ne tugenda. Bwantuusa ne twetegeka rather So one single evening ne tugenda around Matuga, that side I will never forget. Ne tutuuka Matuga ne tuvaako ku Kubeero ne tugenda on some village. I remember bwali obudde bugenze batuuka Kawungeezi. So omusamize that time tetwamulaba n'atugamba twebake tusule atukoleko enkya.
Musula Matuga.
Musabo waliwo shrines.
Musule Musabo.
Andi we twagenda wa musamize. Omusamize nga wakolera we wali amasabo ge, not one, there were many. Kakati tutuuse evening around 6 p.m.
Yes.
Ne bamugamba nti akati obudde bugenze bajjajja tebajja kukolako. So sula balina terms and conditions.
Okay.
Please. So jjajja n'abagamba nti mutuuse budde bugenze, therefore you will spend the night here, then omuvubuka tumukoleko the next day. Now this is where I want you to listen carefully. Ne bandage okusula in a small shrine nga kali on one side of, you know, of the land, secluded. Kakati ne bamugamba ne bandage okusula ne banjalira awo ne nebaka. As a young boy, mba nebase ekiro around 3 a.m. And now this was my turning point. Around 3 a.m. nitandika okuwulira abantu abakaaba, you know, that loud noise gabakaaba as if there is a fight going on. But I'm a stranger, so I don't know what's happening. Naye ng'emiranga tosobola kugimiisinga sawa nga mwenda ogw'ekiro. And you know what that means to a child, because mama wange ate ye yaddayo nansana yandekayo bamugamba nti agwe muleke gwe si gwe mulwadde, we only have one, you know, space for the patient, so you go, you come back. Nandekayo munange kakati mba ndi awo emiranga gitandise abantu bakaaba wuwi gamba come on, what's going on? So nenyimuka nentuula in one corner of the shrine. Temwali mu mataala, tekwaliko ki, and the whole place was in dark. So I sit in one corner waiting for what happens next. Kati mba ndi awo, now the chief priest kabona nanyini saverio ngenda okulira konkona ku luggi lwange ngamba what's happening, nagamba gwe mwana mlenzi, mwana gwe, she even didn't know my names. Nagamba stand up, leave this place, I can't work on you. Nagamba what's going on here? Naga nedda temumukiriza omwana va wano, genda osule ebweru w'essabo lyange, don't please, don't spend the night here. Kakati I even didn't ask. But still she went ahead and said, some man has come to me and said that I cannot keep a soul that is not mine. Now, ojjukira emiranga gye gambye. Now, later alone I discovered nga nkuze nti emiranga giri shadan angelic visitation, malayika yamukyalira kati ng'emuvunaana okukuuma nze mu ssabo naye nga saali wa musabo. In other words, all my birth was God ordained. Ndwala mama nga ntwala mu ssabo akola ensobi esembayo okuba ennene. Kakati ekiro ekyo malayika emulumba omusamize emukuba, omukazi angoba mu ssabo naye ng'ekimukuba takimanyi, because ye yagamba ng'omusajja ankubye, omusajja azze ayambadde ebyeru nga nkuba nga ngamba nkuuma ntya soul etali yange. Simanyi oba soul mukiyita ki mu Luganda? Omwoyo. Kwegamba sitaani alina emyoyo gye naye ne Katonda abaako n'egigye. Now these two cannot be interchanged. Now I was born to serve God, I didn't know that. Kakati munange sikulwisa eyo wayita ebbanga ttono omusamizi ono n'afa. Kakati kwolwo saasula mu ssabo banfulumya.
Kati wasula waawo? Nasula
on a neighborhood. Naye si mu ssabo.
Yes.
Banfulumya ne bagamba omusajja abakubye, and it was true. because why would they forge such a
Malaika
story?
yajja n'abakuba.
Ne bakuba empi ne bagamba no omuvubuka waabwe akatonda is supposed to serve God. Ne banfulumya mu ssabo, bwe banfulumya nga nange ekinfulumisa sikitegeera. I even didn't know that I had the hand of God on my life. Of course, ne bangoba
did you know God at that time?
No, like any child.
Any child, yeah.
Nakulira ewaffe, you know, we are staunch Catholics. Kakati ejo emyaka, I had access to, you know, to Catholic church. Nga ngendayo ba brother mikwano gyange. Naye nga mbagambye bansabira omutwe nga guganye.
Yes.
Kakati bwe gugaana, kati mama wange najja ne solution. Naye solution gye twagenda okuginoonya.
Yeah, you research
somehow.
Yes.
Kati Katonda wakiyingiriramu.
Okay.
Now, mama wange abata nadda gye ayina komawo musabo kati nga nze ntuuse Nansana. Sawa nga nyamba ndi mama wange yeetegeka ajje kati ate nga nzize.
Nga gwe omutuuseeko.
Nangamba kiki? Ne mugamba ekyabaddewo. Nangamba bangobye musabo. Very strange. Kakati bwe bangoba musabo mama wange naga kakati simanyi kiddako. Kati nanga nti naye now that ne musabo bakugobye kati beera wano noonye ssente ogende ewa kitaawo. Kati taata wange abeera Ntebe, mami yali Nansana.
They had split over what?
Yes,
okay.
They had divorced when we were growing up.
Kati nge 13 bali ne maama wo oba?
Daddy ayina ababe ne mami ayina ababe.
Okay.
So the total
yes.
is
13. Okay.
So kakati ni wayitawo ebbanga nga mami ndowooza anoonya ssente, then one day ntwala Entebbe ewa taata wange. Kakati
awiranga omutwe gukyakuluma
nga gunuma ate nnyo kati olwo gweyungidde. Now I'm almost running mad because it was bad. So daddy aba ali eyo nga nzize emugaa daddy ebyambaddeko omutwe ebiki and all that. Nangamba kale katusala amagezi. Kakati ku kyalo kyaffe Entebbe waliwo kyaki y'abalokole. Buno obw'obuwempe. Some local church, small. Kakati amagezi gange ne ganzigira. Eddagala liganye. Musabo bakugobye. Kati option esigadde. Katonda. Go to God. That's what I did. One Sunday morning, nobody preached to me. I slept that Saturday, organized myself very well. Sunday morning, I was the first in church. Nentula mba ndi awo ngino ulaba bakuba engoma. Well, I don't know much, but let me see what it takes to be a local anyway. Mbera mu church, ngoma nevuga ne tusinza ne abalala ne bajja ne basaba, there weren't many. Kakati service bwe gwa omusumba yabuulira naga kale bonna mugende. Nempanika omukono ne mga sebo. Naze wano kulokoka. And with your permission, I want to accept Christ as my Lord and Savior.
How old are you then now?
Now that's I'm around 11, 12.
Okay.
So nangamba okay, jangu tukusabire muvubuka omuto. Kati ate service ewedde kati nze ndeeseemu story ez'okulokoka emisa neddamu.
Yes.
Ne baddamu ne baga oh my God alokose because my dad is known. So they couldn't believe nti mutabani we ayinza okulokoka. So ne service neddamu ne oba nange mukomeo. So ne bakomawo ate buto ne baga kale tumwatuze obulokozi. Ne banjatuze obulokozi. Bwe mala okwatula obulokole teyansabira mutwe kuwona naye atula bulokole. I can assure you ngendo okuva we nafukamira ku ttaka ng'omutwe gubuze instantly. Gwawonerawo bwe guwona kakati nze okuva obuto bwange nze recipe ekoze sigikyusa. Once something works,
you know that this is the winning formula.
I know this is the recipe and I would keep using it for the rest of my life.
Yes.
That's exactly what happened. Nva kutaka omusumba amaze okunsabira banayo omutwe gwo instantly, like unbelievably, like I couldn't believe it. Ngenda okuvawo omutwe guwonye nenzirayo ewaka. Daddy ne mugaa guess what? Omutwe guwonye. Tikisoboka Mike. Nimuga guwonye. And I can assure you that was the last time I've ever tested a tablet. That's the last time I've ever felt any pain in my body. I don't remember the last time I took an injection in my body. Obulwadde bwawona, obulwadde bwakomaawo. So from that day, nendokoka. Now, bwe mala okulokoka, definitely a lot of things happened in between. Because I was okulokoka, ati awo ntandise, I think even my follower came with me the next Sunday, netutandika okusaba, but again, as a young boy, kati mikwano gyange ku kyalo now Entebbe, ne bagana ye, kwe blood, kiki?
Ngo tuvuddemu.
Kiki kyo? So kakati awo mbuuseewaawo emyaka awo because obulokole, you know, ngenda naye kati awo essomero liyingiddemu. Now I have gone back to school. Now in my form 4 kakati again another incident happened. Now jukira omusamize baamukubye, agamba omusajja amukubye. Kakati nebuuza musajja kyono ankubira abantu. Like, who is this man who beats people on my behalf? Henry.
Yes.
Nayagala nnyo okumanya omusajja ono. Because, I mean, like, of all people, why me?
Yes.
Like, why me? So, a couple of years, not so many really, again, I found myself again in a situation where I had to call upon the name of Jesus. Now, this came when I'm now grown up. I could understand, I could relate, I could interpret things, I knew them. So I find myself in an accident. Kakati accident yeno yali mbi. Accident yeno yandeka mu coma for 3 months. Kakati, in those 3 months, now spiritual realities became more real to me. Coma
for 3 months.
3 months. Now, during this coma state, I was able to jukira kati wali ndokose ninga omanyi obulokole kati nalokoka ngango olusi bwengwa olusi, you know, mikwano jange, they would preach me out of church. There is one particular guy called Vincent. Now he's a serious guy. He serves in government. So he came to me one day. Nanga but Kiganda, honestly, wase muntu? Why are you giving your life to Christ? I mean, there is a lot of fun you're missing on. Like, wasani? Oba uli mulogunga tetumanyi. I'm not a witch. No way are you born again. Like, for real, why? Chichi. Oba toina sente yogera.
Yes.
Them guy boss. It has nothing to do with money. It has everything to do with, you know, knowing Christ. Of course, it didn't make sense. But then, somehow non-convincing. So there is a year there where, you know, stubbornly jammed going to church. Now, in that coma state, something now that shaped my life again happened. Now, mbeera ndi mukoma omwo, jukira Yesu mumanyiko kitundu badde nagendayo lwa bulwadde namponya nesiddayo. Kakati ngenzo gwa mu accident maze emyaka sisaba. So ntuuka mweyo state. Because Henry, one other thing you need to understand, hell is real. And so is heaven. Now, ndimweyo state, kakati emizimu gitandise okomerawo okulwanira spirit yange. This is what happens when people die. Hope I will not scare you off the set. Listen, first of all, there is a sure destiny, a clear path to anyone who dies, but they know Christ. They know where they go. Tedi Luganda luganga kumantala. You cannot slide into paradise and yet you are meant for hell. It cannot happen. The same is true to a person who did not know Christ. Now, at that moment, I didn't know Christ. Jukira nagenze namponya ekyamagero nenjiraba niira nenvaayo. So at that moment I've denounced him. Kakati emizimu ginkwatira mu eyo embeera nga Katonda namweganye. Kakati mba ndi awo yagitandise okuddamu okulwanira spiriti yange to take me to hell.
Ng'oli mu kkoma.
Nga ndi mu kkoma.
Ng'ogiraba girwana.
Now what happens is your spirit doesn't die.
Yeah.
The body does. The spirit is what gives your body life. Now, if the spirit is separated from the body, then you're declared clinically dead. But then, before you are confirmed dead, there is a separation that happens. Spirit yesoka nevamu for a while. Chovola obusiramu buga nti omuntu afa 40 days before they
Do you know the actual death happens?
Yeah. So I mean, your period, the spirit is hanging right there in space. Hey, now mine left for that time. Kati nawe mizimu jiju grabbing to take me to hell, and I didn't like this place. I didn't like this place.
Kugamba walinga afudde.
Sikubanga
Wali ofudde.
Oba ofudde. Enjawulo nti you are given a chance your spirit to come back to the body.
Okay.
Now, if it's not given, now this is what happened. Emizimu jirwana jaga kutwala spirit yange mu Guyana. In fact, I know, I have a glimpse of how hell looks like. I saw some people there. Yes.
The ones that you can say Kalens Jukirono Namulaba. At least I know this face.
I saw some of your pop stars.
Abayimbi.
I saw some of these celebrities.
Abamba na Uganda.
Of course.
Ngabani. Prophet.
Of course, I can't say everything on camera.
It's okay,
because of the sensitivity of the matter.
Abamba.
But I can assure you, again, this hell thing has nothing to do with your popularity on earth.
Yeah, that's very true.
It has nothing to do with your big name. It has nothing to do with tata wange yali mulokole, mama wange mulokole.
It's a personal experience. You
don't even experience. You accept Christ as your personal. Now, I'm not at liberty to share that, but I saw some politicians, those who died even before I was born. Others were kings. Okay, the one person I clearly, and yet he lived even before I lived, the one person that the world knows is Hitler. I saw his face, and I was, again, what happened is here,
at that time you were in, you went in the coma when you were in,
yeah.
Which class you said? P7?
P7.
P7.
Yes. Yeah.
You knew Hitler's face.
Now,
the
strange bit is when you are given that experience, the spiritual experience, you are able to know anything that you could not have known in your physical strength. Okay. You are given abilities so much that you can look at a figure that you've never related with in the physical.
World.
And yet you can look at it and know that this is Hitler, and you can see them. Then you can also look at another figure and you tell that this person is Abraham of the Bible, who lived way before we lived. Yes. But now when you are given this ability, or when you encounter the Lord, you receive this ability to distinguish. Now there is a curtain, there is a veil, there is a limitation. So much that the person you don't know in the physical, you
cannot know in the spiritual.
You may not.
Yes.
And yet when you encounter the same person in the spiritual realm, you'll be able to interpret accurately what you're seeing.
So
And
whatever you hit.
so I saw this guy, and then I knew this was the Hitler that shook the world at one point. Then I was able to know how basic certain things are in the physical world. And yet the world, those are the things they magnify. Those are the things that they die working for. Those are the things they really, really, can't do without. Things like power, things like fame, things like money. And yet God is not against all of them, but is against the methodology. If you don't receive those things his way, he calls them vanity. So I see this guy, and again my understanding tells me that's Hitler, among other people. Now, while in that scuffle, the demons are fighting for my spirit.
Now you've tapped into my my imagination.
Now,
is there fire, like they say? Is there, as we call, we gotta go for a break. But paint for me a picture of what hell looks like. When you're in coma.
Yeah.
Then
Okay, I may not paint the exact picture of how it looks like, but I'll give you how it feels like. Okay? Now, how it feels like will, in a way, tell you how it looks like. Because this is what happens. Some people are permanently chained. And now these are the greatest leaders that, as the world calls them, they were once great leaders. They once shook the earth. But as we talk, they are chained.
In hell.
In hell, waiting for the judgment day. They are chained. They're on chains. But then there are others that are they are, in torment. And you could see them in because not everyone who is supposed... Okay, this is what happens. If you die and you don't know Christ, you don't straight away go in fire. No. There is a place where you wait from judgment. Until when you are judged, that's when you are passed into hell. Now, hell is not yet until when the return of the Lord happens. Now, the people who are in hell right now, they are in torment. They are not in paradise, but they are not yet in fire. They are in a place which is very unpleasant. They are caned by devils every day. They are chained. They are tormented.
So which one did you see? The ones that are chained?
Yeah, I saw
that
those.
That are in torment, not hell.
Yes, I saw those that are right now being tormented, chained. But then I had a glimpse of how hell looks like, because it opened and I saw it, how it looks like. And I didn't like to go. I didn't like to take that direction.
So how did you fight to come?
Now, I didn't fight because I tried to call my mom. I called my dad. I called all powerful names. And none could come for my rescue. Then, at that moment, I could not talk. Remember, I'm wired.
Yes, you're in coma.
I'm in coma. The body, erimu biplasta, bichuba, mukamwa, mumatum, everywhere. So I couldn't talk. But then, I meditated. You know meditating? To think. Nga bw'obeera onolowooza ku linnya ly'omuntu. Nga bw'olowooza ku Henry, nolowooza ku Betty, nolowooza ku Sam. Now, I thought about Jesus. I meditated about Jesus. And guess what? He came. He came. Now, when he came, he said that I had called him.
You saw him?
I saw him. He comes and he says, "You've called me." Now,
the picture of him.
Now,
now tapping into my.
Now, this is even now the most interesting, because I didn't say Jesus, Jesus. Remember, you are incapacitated physically, because who remains strong, and yet they are in coma.
Yes.
So I was physically incapacitated. But I thought about him. Then he shows up. Then he says, you've called me. Then he comes at a time where these demons are fighting to pull me this side. And I don't like it. Now, at that point where they are pulling me, the gates of hell opened. So you can see what is right there.
2 questions before.
Now,
we go for the
let me
break.
explain
Yes.
something briefly.
Yes, yes.
So Jesus comes
Yes.
and he says, I've called him. Then he says, I'll not die. Now, when he shows up,
Yes.
now the scaffold stands still for a while.
Man, you get us.
He stands still.
Yes.
The scaffold
Yes.
stops. Now, these ugly demons, remember they were ugly, they had the tails, they had the teeth, very abnormal, very ugly being. I can't really put them in a earthly language. But then, he shows up. Now, they begin to shy away. And now he stretches his hands towards me. And now these ugly demons begin melting one by one by one. There weren't so many, there were like 7 or 8. But now each one of them begins to melt. He stretched his hands towards me. And then the spirit, remember,
Kati eri mu balance,
now eri mu
yeah.
banga, now it started descending, ascending and descending.
Yes.
So it starts descending,
Back.
coming back. But at that moment, I don't know whether I should come back to the body or I should stay here. Because Jesus' presence brought a whole world of change. Now I've seen him. You can't call him beautiful. You can't call him handsome. He's something else. Now,
Wembuliza, like for the person who is watching.
yes.
How do you describe like what he looked like? Did you like put a face around him like yafana natya?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. You can't call him handsome. You can't call him beautiful. He's both handsome and beautiful, physically speaking. And yet, when you look at him, you can see the love in him. Now, that's why again, I always tell people that religion misrepresents Christ. The moment you look at him, all your fears, all your burdens, all the sins, the sins you thought you had committed and they are so big, once he comes with this deep love that can wash away. Not forgiving. Forgiving is an understatement, but he washes away. When you look at him, you only see love. Because I looked in his eyes, he stretched his hands towards me, and then the spirit goes back to the body. Now, that experience alone took away all the fears, took away all the insecurities.
Yeah.
Now, he is one person you can look at and is all in all. Like the complete, I don't know.
You see, when I look at you, I can see you're putting on a yellow jacket, a black shirt.
Yeah.
When you look at me, you can see I'm putting on this is maroon, black, white. So did you see like a black form, a white muzungu? Muduga. That's what I'm trying to understand.
Okay,
And then,
is young. You can't call him old. He's not an old man. Remember, he died at 33.
yes.
So he's still in his form.
Yes.
He's youthful, muvubuka. But beyond the colors and his looks, you can see a forgiving person, a person who has no malice. I really don't know how to explain it, but is a Jewish like that form. Is in that Jewish form.
Okay. And for hell, when the hell opened, did you see fire? Did you see like dragons? Omanye, we grew up and when people are telling us about hell, abantu but buli omu alina ekifaananyi kye.
Yeah.
Now you saw when you're in coma.
Yeah.
You saw hell,
Yeah.
and then you saw Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus, tumaze omudescribing.
Yeah.
Hell yo weyegula efaanana etya?
Like I said, the first what you would call reception.
Yes.
Where you are received, someone who qualifies for hell. They don't
kalonji kabwa.
Exactly. That's a
Yes.
torment chamber.
Yes.
It's there, it's obvious, you can see it, you can see people there. But again, beyond the torment chamber, there is now another place which is, fiery.
Muliro.
And it's constant fire. You can't look there twice. It doesn't matter who you are. You can't sit there twice. You can't look there and keep looking there to see everything. No. You can only look there accidentally, and that's enough to show you. Actually, fire touches you even before you enter there. So it is really, I can't paint a clear, accurate everything of what happens, because you cannot look there twice. You can't stare and say, oh, let me write down that. No, it cannot happen. You can only look there and look away. But that experience alone cannot leave you until you depart from this body, depart from this life. Now,
yes, you're certain there is fire.
There is fire, and there is no doubts on that. Okay. Because even before you enter there, already here at the reception of hell, there is enough torment. There is enough of agony, enough of pain, enough of all those things, really.
Besides Hitler.
Yes.
Who else did you see, Prophet? Just nyongera irinya. We go for a break.
I saw some. Anyway, some of them are Ugandans, but I know Ugandans will come for me. I don't want to. I would rather speak about people who are not Ugandans. If it was me who
went and saw them,
yeah,
I would say.
Because again, not every truth is said.
Exactly.
So I'm
some
conscious
of them you
about
saw are
that.
still alive.
No, no, they are all dead. They are all dead. They are all dead. They are not.
Like
they are no longer in the body.
Just one other name.
I don't know who else I can remember, but the other thing again, I want maybe what of your interest.
Yes.
In hell, there are no babies. Okay, maybe that will help you. There are no babies, because babies are still pure. They are still spirits. They have not been corrupted. So there is no child in hell. In other words, everyone that loses their children are children, but I hope you know the difference.
Yes.
Yeah. So they don't go to hell. That's not for them. You must have lived, old enough to begin sinning and to denounce Christ. Actually, the only sin that qualifies people to hell is not going to Anje. It's not drinking. Not that people should drink or do that. The only sin that qualifies people to hell is when you deliberately refuse or reject Christ.
Yeah. I'm with Prophet Michael Kiganda. He had two encounters. Yeah. One, angels fought for him. Ne bamujja mu ssabo ng'omutwe gumuluma n'alokoka omutwe ne guwona. And then secondly, yagwa echupa n'emusala olubuto n'agenda mukoma okumala emyezi 3. Mwegyo emyezi 3 yalaba Geyeena bwefaanana n'abaako n'abantu be yalabamu. Abantu abamu ku be yalabamu bwe mwali Hitler. And n'alaba ne Yesu mwennyini yasembeza omukono gwe ne gumukwatako atwadde description ya Yesu nga bweri. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to differentiate between who is a pastor and who is a prophet and where his ministry starts from and some of the prophecies that he has done. Zabampita Mr. Henry, Deep Talk to Vow.
The Deep Talk with Mr. Henry.